Good afternoon once again. Welcome to today's episode on understanding drug abuse and dependency. Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. Welcome to today's episode on our series dealing with teenage drug issues, understanding drugs, drug abuse, dependency, addiction, substance abuse, and all you need to know about drug abuse and dependency. So, our book, once again, as I always said, is titled Overcoming Drugs, Overcoming the Drug Scourge, Effective Ways of Ending Drug Abuse and Dependency. Overcoming the Drug Scourge, Effective Ways of Ending Drug Abuse and Dependency. Just a little recap about this book. What are we saying? This book is born out of the author's passion to fix a missing link in drug abuse prevention campaign. Adequate information about drugs, drug abuse, and effective ways of ending the scourge have been provided. The principles in this book hold the key towards containing the problems of drug abuse and dependency in the society. We encourage you, go for this book. Look for this book, it's available. You can call us for a copy of it. It's a free copy, it's our own contribution to the fight against drug use in the society. Feel free to reach us via our social media handles. You can always get you a copy of this book. The e-copy is available. The e-copy is available as well. Reach out to your contact and we can drop a copy for you. Because our aim, our vision is to raise a new generation of vanguards to help curb the menace of drugs in our society. Thank you. So for this evening's episode, we'll be going briefly look at issues surrounding understanding drugs in our society. So in this episode, we'll be just looking at the various elements that make up the term drugs so that we can increase our understanding of this issue. One of the elements is talking about the various types of drugs we have in our society. I said yesterday, I mentioned some of them, but today I want to go a bit more detailed into these elements that make up, that will help us to understand what this drug issue is all about facing our society, that is also affecting our youth. The first element we're talking about this one is the OTC drugs. We have about 5 of those elements. OTC, which I mentioned earlier, referring to over-the-counter drugs. These are the drugs you can easily purchase from pharmacies, chemists around us for 1 or 2 ailments, which are required to help us in managing ailments in the society. Things like getting paracetamol, malaria tablets, and so on, which can get over-the-counter drug without any special prescription. The second type of drug we talked about was the prescription drugs, talking about these ones that require professional prescription by a qualified medical practitioner to get these drugs, without which no pharmacist who have his license active will dispense those drugs to you. Those fell under prescription drugs. Then also we have the ones we call hard drugs. Hard drugs. These have to be the most common drugs of abuse, like cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and so on. Marijuana and the like, codeine, methadone, amphetamine, we they call ice. We get to that much later. Amphetamine and LSD, lactic acid ethylamine, and many others. These formed what we call hard drugs: the cocaine, heroin, opium, and co. Then the next one we talk about alcoholic beverages. This is another kind of drugs we have. Alcoholic beverages, which are around us. Go around, we see them. Different form of alcoholic beverages. I will not mention their name, but you know what I'm talking about. Then the next one, we have what we call substances of abuse. Why substances of abuse? This term came up because there are other things individuals having consuming which create the same effect like drugs of abuse. These things are not actually classified as drugs of abuse, but the same effect, they produce the same effect upon users. Things like we talk about chemical products, things used in normal day-to-day use, even at homes. They provide they produce strong effect, strong smell that a number of individuals have been found to consume some of these things or to inhale them. They're mainly inhaled. inhaled, and they produce similar, if even to an extent, some even harsher effect than the main drug of abuse. So they are called substances of abuse. There are many of them, many available that individuals are used to abusing. Then also, I'll talk about two other things, elements we consider when we talk about general classification of drugs. I may summarize the ones I mentioned in these two forms: natural drugs and synthetic drugs. Natural drugs and synthetic drugs. Natural drugs in its natural forms, like getting a cannabis plant, direct consumption, dry it, that is natural. It have not undergone any chemical processing. Then when it comes to synthetic drugs, these are those drugs that have undergone a kind of processing in labs, a kind of processing in some facilities to produce its finished products. So these two terms, natural drugs and synthetic drugs, are two major classification of drugs and substances of abuse that have been affecting our individuals in our society. So I believe this few minutes discussion tonight, this evening, have given you a kind of understanding of the elements that we are referring to when we talk about drugs and substances of abuse. Thank you. See you again tomorrow for a short clip on much more detail of some of these drugs we are talking about. Thank you. Please love and like our video, share it, reach us, send us in case you need a copy of our book. It's still available. We can avail it to you. So you can equip yourself with this knowledge and help help the society, help yourself, help your family, help our youth, help our children to overcome, to avoid, to prevent this issue, this menace from wreaking the havoc is already wreaking in our society. You go around a lot of places, children being abused, children being lured into this into this menace. A lot of our girls in a place like Abuja, you go around, a lot of our girls are being lured into this issue, are being misguided, the destinies are being destroyed. But we not allow it. With this knowledge, with this information, every single person will be equipped to protect himself and his wards, his friends, associates, in the workplace, in schools, in our churches, in our mosque, from this menace. Thank you. God bless you. See you tomorrow once again.